Hello guys, I welcome you back to this episode, to this World Web Development course. Yeah, coming to you from NNI Technologies. If this is the very first video you are watching, then I just wish you go back to the previous videos on this playlist. The previous videos, how we started building our web page from the scratch. And at this point, we are here. We've been following the table of contents I made on this page since the beginning of this course. We've talked about typography, semantic tags, CSS basic, layout techniques, flexbox model, and the last one we talked about is creating form. We've created two different forms. The first form is the one we created, that is this simple login form. And then the second form is the one we talked about, feedback. Now, we are at the point of trying to redevelop this Facebook login form. If you have been following all other videos from the very beginning, I encourage you to keep it on. Knowledge is not easy, so you don't have to give up. Even if you're having difficulty, that's why I would always go to the comment section. I encourage you to go to the comment section and you know state your case and bring your proofs. Whatever challenge you're having, just write it down there or hit us on the notification button. All right. So for us to develop this page, for us to develop this login page, first of all, I want you to look at this logo you're seeing here, this F, which is the Facebook logo. It is known as favicon. I would want us to insert it. I would want you to download this logo so that you would see, you will have it in your folder. Then this image, this very thing you're seeing here is an image. So you can see open image in a new web, save image as. I expect you to click this save image as. Get it saved in your folder so that we can begin our coding. All right. I already saved this very one. I already got the favicon, and now myself, I'm ready for this work. I hope you're ready too. So I wait for you to save yours as we gradually get into coding it. Just a matter of few minutes and we'll be able to replicate what we are having here. Now let me resize this page. If you're using desktop, which either laptop or monitor desktop, just right click on the free space, click on inspect. Then when you click on inspect, try to resize the page. While resizing it, you will notice that when it gets to a certain width, when it gets to about 900, when it gets to 900 pixels, this the interface changes from this row to column. All right, so we're going to integrate that in the course of this work. So enough of the long talk. While saying this, I expect you must have saved this file so that we code along. All right, I wait for you. All right, supposing you've already finished getting the images we need for this work, let's quickly get at it. Um, I have my VS Code here, then the browser always here. So let's begin immediately. I already created my file, Facebook login form in the CSS folder, Facebook login form in the HTML folder. All right, so here I'll get the HTML basic structure, and I will save this as um, Facebook login form. All right. And the next thing I will need here is to link my CSS. So link the CSS, then get that file, CSS Facebook login form. I will also want to link the favicon. So this is how you get it. That image I was telling you about. Once you already have any image you have on your web page, no matter how big the image is that you have in your workspace, remember, before the begin at the beginning of this work, at the beginning of this course, I encourage you to create these folders: CSS folder, HTML folder, images, JavaScript. We will soon be going into JavaScript. We are just few minutes away from introducing JavaScript into this course, so that our web page will become very much interactive. When you click on a button and then it responds. Okay, so let's link. You see this link favicon, click on it and then load the image here. So what I want to load here is the Facebook logo. So I named it as FB logo, no background. So this is the one I want. You try to download this image so that you would also link it as I did. All right, let's quickly go into the main work. So for here, I'll write the main. Inside the main, I have a section. Inside the section, I'm gonna have two boxes. The two boxes I mean is this part and then the part for the form. All right. So the first part I will name it as info container. Hope I got that correct. Apart from the info container, I have the form container. All right. So let's get at it. Inside the info container, I'm gonna have an image, this image, and then this write-up. So the image, I'll name it with image, the div, the box where the image will be, and then I will load that image. Loading it we using img, of course. So the image is saved in my image folder as Facebook logo. I hope I'm getting it. Facebook logo SVGS. I guess this is it. I'm gonna display this our web page so that you'll be seeing it. So right click, open with live server. Of course, it opens automatically with this. You could see this Facebook that is already loaded. I copy it, then open this part, then enter it. I would want you to see this favicon. You could see the F, it is showing there. Let me zoom this page so you see it. This F. Maybe it's not really the same with this one, but make sure you get your own correctly and accurate. Alright. So let's get at it and finish up what we need there. So beneath the image is a write-up with paragraph. So I'm going to write that with p tag. Let me copy it from here without much ado. So get it copied, then paste it here. Live. Facebook helps you connect and share with people in your life. Simple. All right, let's go into the form immediately. So for the form, I would want us to create form as usual. We've been creating that. So the action it will perform now is the method is post. So we're posting something there. So for the input, the first part I have input, of course, text. Then the placeholder should be from what you're seeing here, email address or phone number. So it's good you're seeing it, but let's also go here so that we also be seeing our own display. So placeholder says email address or phone number. All right, the next thing would be input for password. Input password. So let there be a placeholder too. ID, I don't want any ID for now. The most important thing I need now is the placeholder. So the placeholder will be password, but it's capital P. So password. All right. So you're seeing it appearing here, both of them. All right. After this is button. but I'm going to give this button a class of btn1 because I have two buttons there. So let this button be log in. Then another one is anchor tag. This anchor tag is reference to hash. So what the user should see is forgotten password. I hope we are getting the same thing here. So forgotten password, this is the point where we are now. Then this next one is create this button and then this part, and we are done with the HTML structure. So that's just the fast as we could be. Okay, so forgotten password. Then let's get that button. I just want to copy this one. So shift home, copy this, rename it as button 2, but the content is gonna be create new account. Create new account. All right. So, all right. I hope we are gradually hitting it. Meanwhile, I would want this button to be in a div of its own, so that I will give the div a class name of last btn. So last button. I have a reason for that. Then the last part of it, this part, I want it to be a div of its own. A div of its own. Create a page for celebrity, brand, or business. Okay, so we are coming out of the form. Out of the form, but still within inside the form container. Okay, so I want to name it as a class name dot base. It's going to be shown with strong. Inside the strong is anchor tag, and the anchor tag, the user should be seeing create a page. While we are doing it, look at it, is a reference, so that's why it is anchor tag. This other one is not anchor tag, so it's good you are seeing what you are doing. So apart from this part, I'm going to use span to write the other part, the remaining part. So span would say for a celebrity, comma, brand or business. Okay, let's open our own so that we'll see what we have there. So we've created this structure. Let's quickly get into the HTML or the CSS to begin styling it. All right. And in the CSS styling, the first thing I want us to do here is to get the universal selector, which is this asterisk, to say padding 0, margin 0 as well. And then box sizing should be border box. Then transition is, let me use all, 0.5 seconds, and then make it to ease in out. All right, so that every part transits with ease. Let's call the body element. For the body, I would want it to take general font size of about 17 pixels, and then add a color which is just the default color as 000. All right, then I just want to write this comment. I want you to do that. Try to go back to what we did in typography. I'm just commenting it. So get fonts from Google font. So I want you to get the font Playfair Sans Serif. So Playfair Sans Serif. I'm not going to show it here. I want you to do it because we've talked about getting font. So and I would like you to try it on your own. If you are unable to do it, if you're unable to get it, no problem. Hit the comment section, write to us, and I will see it. Let me see how we can assist you. Okay, then for this part, I would want us to call the anchor tag. So generally, all anchor tag on this web page has text decoration on, but when you hover on it, the text decoration becomes underlined. So anchor tag on hover, text decoration should be underlined. Then another one, I want to add color here generally, except the one in inside the form generally. So this is going to change. Here is already black, but I would also work on it. So the next thing I want us to get here is the main. So let it take a width of 100%, a height of 100 VH. What else? So we go for the section. The section should take max width of 1000 pixels, a width of about 100%, and then a height of 100%. This height is, of course, let's see the HTML. You see what we're talking about here. Section is inside the main. Section is inside the main. Okay, so whatever, if it is 100% height, it means 100 VH. If it is 100% width, it means 100%, as we have it in the main. So it takes the full width and the full height in the main section. For the section, I would want to display it as flex. Remember, when we display as flex, we have two items inside this section, this box and then this box, info container and box container. Let's zoom this page so that you see the effect of displaying it as flex. This part is here and this part is here. All right, it's not yet looking like what we want, but gradually it is cooking. I'm telling you for sure that if you stay tuned, on within the next 10 minutes you'll be done with this. Okay, so let's align the items to the center. Align item center, justify the content center, justify the content center with a gap of about 20 pixels. Let's then add a margin of maybe about 0 here and then auto. This should balance it to a reasonable extent. Okay, okay, all right. So we have few things remaining just to give some percentage to these ones, to give some percentage. So I want us to get the info container as well as the image. Dot info container, info container, comma, dot image. Both should take a width of about 50%. What else? That will make the image to reduce immediately. Text align, let me align it left. What else? I want to get the info container paragraph, the paragraph within the info container. So info container paragraph, let it have a font size of about 1.8 em. That will make it bold. Then the next thing is to get the img. Whether, let me get it before the paragraph. Img. So we have only one image in this workspace. If not, I will just call it as dot image img. This means the image inside that image div. That is the div with the class name image. So I want to give it a width of about 100%. So it will now reduce. You could see it, how it got reduced. You are seeing what you're having here, and you are seeing what we have here. We are gradually cooking it. Okay, so let's get to our own. This is what we have here, and this is what we have here for now. Gradually cooking. And so let's get the form container, give it a width of about, let's say, 400 pixels, and then align the text to the center. Text align should be on the center. What else should I do here? Let me get the form container form container form. So form inside the form container. I would have ordinarily called it form only, but should we have any other form inside this page, they will all answer. So when I'm getting the form inside that form container, it is taking a width of 100%. What else do we need to add here? I would like to add a box sizing, box shadow. Box shadow of about 2 pixels, 4 pixels can do, and then 10 pixels. Then let it take the color of 000 what, maybe 5 1 will do. Okay, then let's give it a border radius of about 10 pixels, and margin bottom border radius 10 pixels, margin bottom of about 20 pixels, and padding of about 2 rem, and then on the left and right let it have padding of 0.5 rem. I guess that is a bit given. You are seeing it right now. It's gradually cooking. Okay, so having gotten that, I would want us to get the input, that is the input inside our form. So form container form input. In that case, I want to give it a width of about 95%. I hope that will do. Padding of about 1.2 em, a color of about, maybe the color should be ash A7 A7 A5, just a gray color, and then border radius. Do I really need border? I think I need that border. Let me add the border of solid, and then ash BEBABA. That's also ash color. So border radius of about 8 pixels we do, and finally a margin bottom. I hope margin bottom will do, margin bottom of about 20 pixels. All right, let's zoom this page still. 100%, 95% with, I could see all the things you have been talking about is not getting, it's not working. So dot form container form input, simple. Once you are not getting it correctly, it will not work. It will not give you what you want. So the next thing is to get the form button. Dot form container form button. All right. So for this button, I would also want you to take a width of about that 95%. What am I doing? 95%. Then let's gain a font weight that is bold. Font weight bold, time relief lies, and then padding of 0.85 em. I'm getting the both buttons for now. I hope you are following. So I'm getting the both buttons for now. Then let me give them border radius of about 8 pixels. You could see both edges curve now. Look at these buttons, I mean these input boxes. Look at their own input boxes. When you click on it, you see the outline becomes blue. When you click on it, the outline becomes blue. There is a hover as in a pseudo selector we're going to use to select that form container input. So let's call it form container form input. The pseudo selector is on focus. So when you are focused inside that form, let the outline be 1 pixel solid, and then just some blue color, hash 100. I think CEA will do. That's a blue color. Okay, not yet green. All right, look at us. When we click on it, okay, this is us. When we click on it, so I'm out of it. Let's finish up other styling. So still on the button, I don't want any border on it, so border should be none. Then color should be white, and the next thing I need here is cursor to be pointer. You could see it. Now remember in the HTML part, I gave these buttons button 1 and btn2. So I would like us to get them respectively, both of them. So let's get them with those names and then give them the color they should take. So dot btn1 dot button1 should have a background color of 2796, maybe F1. I guess that's a good color. Then let it gain a margin bottom of about 15 pixels. Now let me copy this for the button 2 as well. However, the button 2 is having a different color, which is green. Button 2, look at theirs. This is the button 2, create new account. So let me change this to button 2, and button 2 should have background color of maybe #08BB58. That should give us a good green color. And one other thing I want to add here is margin top and not margin bottom. A margin top of about 25 pixels. 25 pixels. All right. Lastly, I want to add a width of about 60%. Let's see how effective this is for now. Okay, we are gradually getting this. We are almost done. We are almost done with it. Look at what we have here. This is theirs, and this is our own. Okay, so let's quickly finish it up and see what we can achieve more and more. Okay, so I want to call this, I want us to get this line, the line on top of it. So this is how we get it. Before this button 2, let's call this class last btn. Let's get it, which is the box dot last btn, last button. I want to align the text to the center, add a border top of about 1 pixel solid, and then a gray color DDD. You can see it there, very obvious. And then let's give it a width of about 100%, then a padding of about 0.10 pixels, and lastly, let it gain a margin top of about 15 pixels. You could see that the button it should become smaller. It should become smaller. Okay. Um, let's see why we are not getting it right. Does BTN2 last BTN? Um, okay. Okay, let us figure it out and see where we are not getting it right. So we would like to add the parent element here. So dot last btn dot btn. I think that solves the situation, that saves the situation. Here is bigger, this one is smaller. We've gotten this port, this line here, and then so is virtually what remains for us now is to add the hover effect on this last button, then go to the media query. Okay, so the hover effect should be, when you copy this, let's paste it. What I want us to get here is not just the button but hover. So when you hover on it, the background color should change to some deeper color, maybe 054D25. That should be a deeper green. All right. For now, we are done with this entire work. I want us to add the responsive design, making it responsive. All right. So we are done getting exactly what we have on that page. The responsiveness I want us to add to it is when it gets to this smaller screen like this, let it become in column. Let the flex direction become column and no longer row. So how do we get it? At media screen. And then what we should have here is the max width of the screen. Max width should be, either you measure it in pixels, like say 768 pixels, or you can as well measure it in rem. So here I want to measure it using 50 rem. So when the screen gets small to 50 rem, what should happen? First, I would want the section to take a flex direction of column, flex direction column. You could see it immediately, it has changed. There is no delay, there is no dilly-dally. All right. I didn't really get this point. So I think I skipped it up there. So let me call it form anchor tag. So apart from this A, so the anchor tag inside form A, the color should remain blue. Either this blue, I think that solves it. So yeah, exactly, that's what we need. It seems let's leave the font as that. I don't want to reduce it anymore. So this is making it responsive so that on mobile screen, on smaller screen, it appears like this. So let me get the info container. Then info container, the paragraph inside info container, I would want its size to reduce. So let the font size be reduced from 1.8 to 1 em. You could see it reduce, yeah, with ease. Then the next thing is to call the .image img. I would want it to remain on a fixed width. of about 200 pixels. You could see it remain this way. However, on their face, on the one they have in their mobile, it is a logo. It is a logo. So I would want you also to integrate that, not this one that is written as Facebook like this, but it's an F. So that is what you have there. Finally, the form input. I would want to get the form input, giving it a different border radius. Form input. I would want the border radius. How did I call it here? That's the way I should call it here. So form input, form container form dot form container form input. So I would want to change its border radius. Let the border radius be, maybe let me set it at 25 pixels. I hope you've seen it, how it changed immediately. Then let the border be solid. Every other thing will be the same. Every other thing, just the border. I want to change the border to maybe some other color. I think I like that color. All right, so let's leave it at that. Let me also get the input, the form button, the form btn1, as I called it here. Uh, yeah, the btn1. Let me give it a border radius that is the same 25 pixels. All right, so border radius should be 25 pixels. See it change immediately. um I have to call it as dot last btn1. Still not calling it the way I called it here. Form container. Okay, dot form container. Very good. So at this point I get the right thing I want there. And finally is, I would want you to do this part, and then there is this footer part that is on this page. This is the way it appears on bigger screen, and when I reduce it to smaller screen, you could see it appear like this. Wow, wow. So dear viewers, I want you to style your own, give it the parameters you would want it to have. I want you to add this part. Okay, so go on. These are all anchor tags, and we've already set motion for all anchor tags to have. When you add it, when you hover on it, it will have underline. The text decoration becomes underline. Okay, thank you for viewing even to this point. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, subscribe for more videos. Thank you, and bye.